You know, someone once advised me a long time ago now that it can be good to not talk about when things will be done in terms that are too certain, as no matter how good your intentions are or how sure you are, you can truly never know what's waiting around the corner that can spoil all that. But after everything I've been through this year, I couldn't foresee anything too major happening again, and so I posted a video where I said that we can move on from the past as I now have a stable roof over my head and everything should be okay. And the fact I had even managed to make it through the year has been due to your generous help, so I have to once again very humbly thank you all for that. But then something happens that no one could have predicted, and I found myself being rushed to hospital after one of my eyes suddenly swelled up for seemingly no reason whatever and was in tremendous pain. In a panic and using whatever I had at hand, I put together a makeshift eye patch as any exposure to light was unbearable and tears would flow constantly. Unfortunately though, at the hospital I had this taken away from me when I was visiting the different departments and being assessed, due to concern over potential transmission of things like bacteria. And when they were looking at my eye, they weren't sure whether something had somehow cut through my eye or whether it was due to an infection. But ultimately it was deemed that a very significant ulcer had appeared on my cornea that was infected. And then I got the news that this could lead to me going blind if the treatment doesn't work, and also that surgery may also be necessary. And so I knew it was very serious, but I did my best to try and stay positive and hope for the best. I was extremely surprised by what I was told I needed to do though. I was told I had to use eye drops and it can't be treated with pills, but what surprised me is that I was told I had to use the eye drops every hour. And when I asked about what does this mean during the night, I was told I would simply have to wake up every hour. And now I'm sure you can imagine how hard trying to do that would be. However, after a few days it got moved up to every 2 hours, but that's still not much better. They also gave me another type of eye drop to use, which was called cyclopentalate, and I would discover how useful and also pretty interesting this stuff is. It basically works by causing the eye muscles to relax, but it also causes your pupil to dilate and become very large, and it helped with the pain much more than I imagined it would, but it also caused me to have one gigantic saucer-like pupil in one eye and a normal sized pupil in the other. However, in my state that of course didn't matter, but looking back it's interesting to think about. It could only do so much about the pain though, but again it did help more than I originally imagined. Unfortunately though, I also had some big problems when it comes to the hospital getting in contact with me. They had a wrong phone number listed for me, and despite correcting them on it, it took a long time for them to fix the issue. And so I only discovered this after I received a letter saying I had missed an appointment that I didn't even know was made, as they left a message on somebody else's phone. And in the letter they sent me, it kind of seems like they thought that I intentionally missed the appointment and that I don't care about the whole thing. And so in the letter they stressed how important it was and that I could go blind and everything, but of course I was treating it very seriously and they simply weren't contacting me with the right details. And yeah, the letter says, "You missed your appointment in emergency eye clinic today. You were started on topical antibiotic drops for a significant corneal ulcer in your left eye. It is essential that your eyes are assessed for responsive treatment and adjusted accordingly. This is a condition which could potentially lead to loss of vision if optimal treatment is not given. As per our last conversation, you informed me that you dislike coming to hospital and do not carry your phone with you always. We tried contacting you and have left message also." And then it says for me to contact them and to arrange an appointment and to make sure to use the eye drops every 2 hours. And I also have no idea what was said that led to them apparently being informed that I dislike coming to hospital. I don't recall saying anything like that, but there you go. And again, I was of course treating the situation extremely seriously and doing everything that I was being told to do. Also, by the way, I have a big issue with my phone where I can only take photos or videos for a few seconds before the phone reboots. It works with most things, but it's as if using the camera causes the phone to overload or something. And this is part of the reason why it's been hard to show as much of things as I may have wanted. But it does work better when it's plugged into a charger, and so it's not completely unusable. However, I for some reason didn't really even have taking photos or videos in mind. I took a few terrible photos on a few days and hated how I looked, and then I for some reason didn't really think about doing it again. And it was also more painful to try and take photos of it, and especially when using the flash. But yes, not only did I have this big issue with my eye, but I need contact lenses to be able to see. Not only was I not allowed to wear contact lenses, but I don't have any glasses either. However, even with it only being one eye, the pain and irritation and everything meant it was hard to see at all, and to not have my other eye force itself shut. Plus, I was told I couldn't use an eye patch due to concern over keeping the eye clean. And so at some point, I posted a quick update on Twitter about what was happening, but I was stuck. I couldn't make videos and I couldn't do much in general. And unfortunately, it would then get worse, as the infection managed to spread to my other eye. And then there was something like a tug of war between the two eyes in terms of them trying to heal. And this went on for well over a month. And now I'm being told by the doctors that it's left the cornea of one of my eyes scarred, but it's not something I've currently been able to notice when looking at it. However, another result from all of this is that my mental health also took a huge hit from it all. I try and stay strong and everything, but after already going through so much this year, much of which I hadn't even had a chance to properly process, and then with all of the damage to things that the eye problems have caused. And it was also very hard to talk about, as I've been updating you on the things that I've been going through, and I felt like I was letting everyone down. But it was, of course, a situation that was completely out of my control. And so I am asking you to please give me another chance at everything and getting everything back to normal. As I discussed last time, I am still homeless, but I'm at the same Airbnb that I was discussing. And it's much cheaper than the hotels I was bouncing around, and I've been here for quite a while now, and so I know it should be fine for getting on top of things. But as I mentioned, I don't know how I would have stayed alive without the help from you guys. And I said I would show receipts for the Airbnb payments that some very generous people helped with, and so once again, thank you so very much, and I will never forget your help for the rest of my life. And I would like to do some things to thank people more, which I've said before, and I still intend on doing that. But yes, I'm still trying to get back on my feet, and I of course never want to find myself in these sorts of positions ever again. And I will do everything I can to try and ensure that. And if my eye issues didn't happen, everything would be fine by now. And everything could have also been sorted out a long time ago, but I didn't know that there were places like the Airbnb that I'm at, instead of trying to stay at budget hotels that are expensive, even despite being budget hotels. And then of course I had all of the other issues along the way that I've spoken about as well. But I'm almost penniless again, as I've been unable to work, and I need to pay for the next month's Airbnb, and I don't know what to do. If anyone can please help me out financially, there will be a link to my PayPal and Patreon in the description, and I would be forever thankful, and everything will be going towards the costs of the Airbnb. And I will again show a receipt either on YouTube, Twitter, or both. And I've also been making sure to live extremely basically for this entire duration. At this Airbnb, I don't have access to the kitchen, but I have a microwave in the room. And so I've been living off microwave meals every day, and I've not ordered takeaway or anything at all. I've also been making use of deals and things wherever I can, such as from Uber Eats, where if you order groceries with their promotions, it can work out cheaper than going to the store. And as for the channel, if I can keep a roof over my head, I'm ready to make videos on an everyday or every few days basis again, and I have a lot of plans for that. And for example, some of you may have also noticed a poll I made a while back prior to my eye issues, and I didn't post that poll for no reason, and it'll be something I'll be looking into, but I have all sorts of ideas for the channel and a lot of energy and passion that I want to put into everything. And I'm also going to be trying to be more communicative again, which is how I should be, and I'm sorry for not being at times. It's just been very difficult with the things I've been dealing with. And so again, if anyone can help out in any way, it would be extremely helpful, and you will forever have my gratitude. And hopefully I'll soon be able to come with better news. And once again, I am fully committed to the channel and everything that it's involved in. And so until next time, thank you for watching.